is time for Michael to show off his Taekwondo skills. There it is, with his karate chop that signifies
that
it's
is
time.
not Taekwondo at all, but
Aikido.
Taekwondo would be like this.
Good to know.
It's the Terrible Twos, everybody. The final two
Bottom
questions of the show.
Bottom
Terrible
line.
Twos, final two questions.
Underscoring the bottom line. This is where we get to the bottom line of what we thought about the show. Ryan, tell me to go.
You got it. All right. So it's the Terrible Twos. And question number one is, Michael, on a scale of 1 to 10, this is the tough stuff. This is where we get serious. What would you give this first episode of Cheers, entitled Give Me a Ring Sometime?
7.9. 7.9. It was really good. They did a great job with this first episode. It wasn't hilarious. I mean, there was plenty of jokes. The jokes to me were not hilarious. I don't think I ever fell out of my chair laughing. I did have some moments where I go, but overall, for me, what really did it was the heart. And I don't know, I guess I like a show with heart.
Yeah.
There it is. There's my heart on my sleeve.
Mm-hmm. There was a show back in the day called Heart to Heart. I wonder if you'd like that twice as much.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not.
HART.
Yeah, I think you're right. Laila, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give this first episode of Cheers, where everybody knows your name?
I would say pretty close to a 9. I have to admit.
How close?
I think a 9. I think a 9.
Wow.
That's very close.
But I know. But I mean, I thought it was funny. And it could also be because I'm maybe just slightly narcissistic and I'm like watching myself, just it's fun watching, but yeah, no, like I said, I think the heart, I thought it was genuine. And I think there's a lot of, attention to like detail that they put into it. Obviously not with a blurry camera, but other stuff. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a 9 for me. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lila's like teasing us. She's like, it's so close to a 9. How close was it? Well, it's so close that it is a 9.
But it didn't feel right. I think a 9. Yeah.
I'm also close to a 9, but closer to an 8. I'm giving it an 8.1 because it was very imperfect. There are a lot of things that, weren't great, but overall it was much better than I expected. Thank goodness, because I was worried that I was going to watch a piece of crap that would make me sad that, like, what has Cheers become? It's this, it was the whole show bad. And I just thought it was good because everybody said so. And I was a kid, but thankfully it held up okay. And this first episode was actually pretty good. 8.1 is what I'm giving it for the jokes. I feel like only 1 or 2 jokes were outdated to me, like didn't work, and that's pretty surprising. But
that may have been the closest that Ryan and I have ever scored something, except for our review of McCartney 3-2-1.
Yeah. I feel like there was another time where we had the exact score, and I think we had a very similar score very recently too.
Have you guys ever done a 10?
Yep.
Well, you're just gonna have to watch the show. Watch every
watch
episode.
115 episodes. No, yeah, we've given 10s before, maybe a couple times.
Very sparingly.
Yeah.
I think I've only given 1.
Here it is, Michael. I found it. You and I must make a pact. No, you and I both scored the exact same score for Once Upon a Time. WTF 77. I won't say what it is, but we did the exact same score. And that score was and McCartney 3-2-1 as well, right before that on WTF 72. So check out WTF 72 and 77. I think those are the 2 times where we gave the exact same score.
Wow. How do you remember all that?
I know. I know. I'm remembering all the others right now too, just to be sure.
Well, maybe we can remember a little bit later because right now, Brian has to introduce the second question of the bottom line.
There is a third and fourth time that I found that Michael and I had the exact same score.
Wow.
And they are also very close to each other as well. Those are WTF 12, which was Lost. So when we did Lost on WTF 12, we had the exact same score. And 2 episodes before that, WTF number 10, Upload on Amazon, Upload, we did the exact same score. So
wow,
10,
back in the day.
12, 72, and 77. Check those out. All right.
But now,
question number 2. It's not the terrible ones, everybody. It's the terrible 2s. Question number 2 is, for the purpose of this podcast, we all had to watch the first episode of Cheers, but now that the podcast is over and we're free to move about the internet, Michael Kenyon Rosenberg, would you watch the second episode of your own volition?
So Angie and I watched this a couple years ago, like I mentioned, and I made the decision that I did not want to watch the second.
Wow.
However, after this rewatch, I think I would. So I'm going to say yes. I would watch the second. I would.
Wow.
Will I? Maybe. But would I? Yes. I want to see some more of Sam Malone's heart being exposed despite his best intentions to not to. Yeah.
That's gross.
I want to see his chest open,
torn
open,
open,
his heart bumping and beating. Yes.
Laila Shacker.
Yes.
On a scale of yes to no, would you watch the second episode of Cheers of your own volition?
It's not a scale, it's a binary.
I would say it's pretty close to a yes.
How close?
How close you say? How close? Yes, it's a yes.
Wow.
Yeah. I almost did actually right before we got on here, and then I was like, I need to keep the pilot fresh in my mind. But yeah.
Wow. So not only would you, but it seems like you will.
Almost.
You're planning it.
Yeah, I'm planning it. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. Well, in my notes, I put yes. And when I was revisiting the thought process just now, I was thinking also yes, because of that heart that Michael talks about. It has a good feeling. It makes you feel good to watch it. It feels comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
The themes, the show matches the theme song as well as it can. Nothing can match the theme song perfectly because it's amazing, but the show gives you that feeling of the theme song. And it's probably because of the theme song, partially, honestly.
Right.
Like if they had a different theme song that wasn't great, the show probably wouldn't feel as good.
Cheers. No. Cheers.
Or like some country song or something. It would just, but that song is just
everybody knows your name.
Everybody. So yeah, it's a yes, because and also because I'm like, if I was wrong about this first episode thinking it was going to be terrible, am I going to be wrong about the second episode too? Like, it makes me a little curious to know where I got the impression watching it back in the day that it was kind of old and shitty. You know, where did I get that feeling? Because I didn't feel that from this first episode. So that's 3 yeses, everybody at home. And that's it. We've done our work. We've enjoyed Cheers. We've had our fun. We can't wait for Frasier and Lilith and what's her name, Rebecca and Paul. Woody. Oh man, I love Paul.
Gotta have Woody.
And Woody, man. Remember Paul though? Paul.
Yeah.
Crapence. Paul Crapence, I think was his name.
I remember Paul. I don't remember his last name, but I remember there was a Paul, and I remember what he looks like.
Yeah, I remember because Woody called him Mr. Crapence. He called everybody Mr. whatever. So
oh yeah,
that's what it was. Anyway, and then Carla humped Paul, and just all kinds of stuff happened.
Spoilers.
Yeah, it's okay. It's like season 30.
Yeah,
airs.
There's like there's 11 seasons, 270 something episodes. So there's a lot to get through. 11 seasons.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
11.
Lila's like, maybe I won't watch the second. That's too much commitment. That's too much.
I didn't realize
one more than 10.
It only shows like 4 seasons, I feel like.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
11
so
arcs.
it's not that long of a run.
11 seasons.
Oh wow. Okay.
I'm gonna
Oh,
check right now.
It's 11 seasons.
No, I'm
Yeah,
gonna check
whoever's-
how many they've got on Hulu for us. Let's see. Yeah, you're right.
All 11,
4.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that
Sad.
was
Oh, that's it.
What a ripoff. Anyway, all right. So that's it. Everybody at home, thank you for joining us. In the comments below, if you'd like us to review a show, whether you love it or whether you just want to torture us, doesn't matter. Type in WTF and the show's name below. Also, hey, since next month is going to be Superhero Month, go ahead and suggest some superhero shows. There's a good chance we'll do it if you're doing it the perfect timing like this.
Right.
Because Michael and I, otherwise we're like, what do we do? What do we do? And we'll have the answer right in front of us. So what I'm trying to say is this podcast is a place where a lot of people know what your name is.
This podcast was pretty close to awesome. How close? It was awesome.
This podcast is timeless. It's timeless.
Yep.
Gorgeous.
Perfect.
But in
Perfect
a positive
bookend.
good way. Yeah.
Another fun fact about Laila is she's the one that suggested that we close
Yes.
this podcast was. And yeah.
On our very first episode at the end, we're like, well, I guess that's it. Should we close it out? And Laila was like, we should close the podcast by saying this podcast is, and we're like, wow, that's brilliant. That's a good idea. So we've done it. Thanks to you, Laila. We've done it 118 times.
Oh my gosh, that's
19.
cool.
Yeah, 119.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So that's about it, everybody. Just go ahead and like this video, subscribe, share it with your friends. We don't just say it for fun. Like, give it a shot. Just give it a like.
Yeah.
Why
not?
You'll feel good. It's free. And remember what Michael
Doesn't
Kenyon
hurt.
Rosenberg always likes to say.
Please, please, please remember to register to be an organ donor so that somebody like me can get the call in the middle of doing a podcast like I did with Ryan and Laila on the episode where we were reviewing the Fantastic Four.
That was amazing.
So go register to be an organ donor. And then make sure to watch the first of things.
If you want to see that, it's WTF 88. WTF 88 has Michael getting the call that his organ is ready for him in the middle of our recording. Freeze frame.
Now you can say your freeze frame thing. 88.
88. That used to be my pager code. Lila's like, what's a pager code?
Yeah.
I think I had a toy pager.
You know why? You know why my thing was 88? Oh, wait, I should turn this off first.